It's story time. Story time. Let's read a story time. Story time. Get this story time. Story time. You and me is story time. Story time. Let's achieve. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Story Time with me, Kayla. How's everyone doing out there? I hope you are doing well and making sure to stay safe. Now, I know what you're thinking. Today is Saturday. Usually we don't have a read aloud. But today is the first day of a special holiday called Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is an annual celebration of African American culture that is held from December 26th to January 1st. Each day of Kwanzaa is tied to one of the holiday's 7 principles: unity, self-determination, collective responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. Each day, families bring out corresponding symbols and light a new candle on the Kinara. On the final day, a feast is held called the Karamu. Now today we have a special Arthur feature. We are going to take a look at a book from Author Stephen C. Thedford. Now his inspiration towards the book we will read tonight comes from his daughter Kennedy and her curiousness on the spelling of Kwanzaa, the American way and the Swahili way. So without further ado, the book we will read tonight is called Kwanzaa Gets an A, written by Stephen C. Thedford. You ready to see what this book is all about? Ready, set, let's begin. Kwanzaa Gets an A, written by Stephen C. Thedford, illustrated by LaSquizzie, Kern. Here we go. And this book was written because of his daughter, Kennedy. Here we go. Watoto, that means children, came to the library to hear a story of Kwanzaa that they have heard before. Waiting boys and girls talked on the floor. When the children saw the griot, that's storyteller, walk through the door, all the kids started to roar. The griot entered the children's reading area and looked around. He smiled at the children in their little town. The griot sat down, dressed in an African gown. Ooh, beautiful. "Do you want to hear how Kwanzaa got an A?" asked the griot. "Yes!" screamed the Watoto. "That's very good," said the griot, "but not so loud." The children nodded in agreement. The griot laughed and walked around the children. "When I raise my walking stick, please say, 'Ashe.' Can we practice?" "Yes," replied the Watoto. The griot raised his walking stick. "Ashe," said the Watoto. "One more time," said the griot. The griot raised his walking stick. "Ashe," said the Watoto. Yay! They said it with happiness too. "Ashe." The griot began to speak in a mysterious way. In 1965, there was a riot in Watts, a neighborhood in southern Los Angeles, on a hot summer day. African Americans in the community were disrespected in that fray. They wanted those who were hurting their lives to pay. Others turned their faith, fell on their knees, and began to pray. The griot raised his walking stick. "Ashe." Dr. Molana Karinga, a teacher, wanted to restore the community destroyed by racist horseplay. "Return to Africa," was his cry. He researched our history to reduce the disarray. Dr. Karinga believed that people needed to celebrate themselves the right way. The griot raised his walking stick. "Ashe." Dr. Karinga created a harvest festival similar to the Egyptian in Zulu, a cultural holiday. He named it Kwanzaa after the Swahili phrase, "Mantuna ya Kwanzaa," a phrase we should repeat every day. It means first fruits of the harvest. It is a time to renew and remember so we won't stray. The griot raised his walking stick. Ashe. The first Kwanzaa was held in 1966 in Los Angeles, California, a city near Santa Monica Bay. It started in a tiny apartment and celebrations were small back in the day. Yet Kwanzaa has come a long way and events are large today. The griot raised his walking stick. Ashe. Portraits of great African Americans hung on the walls, a sacred display. Artifacts from the motherland adorned the apartment to invite the ancestors to convey. Kente cloth and other African fabrics were everywhere on that day. The griot raised his walking stick. Ashe. Dr. Karinga discussed the importance of the symbols of Kwanzaa during the entree. The Kanara, Mkeka, Muhindi were special and new, which made it more than some tired cliche. He challenged the people to a contest and rewarded the best a bouquet. The griot raised his walking stick. Ashe. The children's program during the first Kwanzaa celebrated African countries like Zimbabwe. 6 Watoro hung the holiday letters around their necks as entertainment at the African Gourmet. Dr. Karinga added an extra A to Kwanzaa so the 7th child at the event could participate at that moment in the USA. The griot raised his walking stick. Ashe. Got an extra A. The griot gestured for the children to stand up, but stay. Children on the floor stood in the walkway. They put their fists into the air and pulled them down 7 times, halfway. On the last one, the Watoro and the griot said, Harambe! And he left a little glossary with all the words we came across. The end. Yes, K-Crew! You know, every holiday has its backstory, and I think Mr. Steven has done a wonderful job telling the backstory of Kwanzaa. Now, personally, my family and I have been wanting to celebrate Kwanzaa for a while now, but we wanted to read up on it first and educate ourselves. But now, hopefully next year, we will be able to celebrate Kwanzaa. Do you celebrate Kwanzaa? Let me know in the comments below. Now, to find your copy of Kwanzaa Gets an A, make sure to head on over to Amazon. Also, be sure to follow Mr. Steven on social media. I thank you all so much for joining me, and thank you, Mr. Steven, for sending this book. Are you all ready to sing some goodbyes? Here we go. Goodbye, 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 my friends, goodbye to you. I hope to see you again real soon. Be proud of all your work tonight. Now climb into bed and sleep real tight. On the count of 3, let's say goodnight. 1, 2, 3, good night.